Welcome back to the channel and the shop and part 2 of my one-part series on building a steady rest for the lathe. A little inside joke there. So the 3/4 inch piece of birch plywood I've cut down to the correct size to draw the thing in the middle. I've indexed the center of it and put a little, awl mark so I can draw all the circles I need to draw. I've added a few little added notes to my drawing, things. One thing I forgot to mention when I was doing these in the last episode, if the paper won't peel off right away, if it doesn't peel off very well, heat gun, just like you're getting labels off of plywood from the big box store, just use a heat gun. It softens right up and the paper will peel right off. Then you have to clean a little bit of glue off of the workpiece. So I have this ready to draw circles, so let's draw some circles. Square for measurement, show you in a minute. Compass for drawing circles. A little trick I'd like to show you that I learned many, many years ago in measuring things. Well, instances like this. At times when you're trying to get a wide measurement on a compass, in this case the radius of the inside of the circle, which is 6 inches, going to the end of the ruler and trying to get it to where you want it to go exactly can be a little problematic. So what I do is I put it in the engraving for the 1, and then in this case I want to go to 7. I'll make a little bit of an adjustment there with the dial here, and now I have a 6-inch measurement exactly. Well, as exact as it can be in this world. Put it in a little indentation. And there's my 12-inch circle. Let's continue on with the rest. Voila. 12-inch, 14.5. So that's the size of the steady rest. I know it looks kind of big. I can make a smaller one if she wants a smaller one. But this will handle just about any kind of work we need to chuck up in the lathe. So I just drew in the middle part, middle circle, which is only for the screw holes. They're going to hold the articulating arms in place like so. So it'll be like that, and they'll articulate in and out just like that to ride onto the workpiece to keep it steady. Down here, there's a tenon that's going to fit into a dado that will be in the base. So it's going to be a 3/8 inch tenon and a 3/4 inch base. And I'm thinking actually taking this corner right here and drawing a line straight up to here. I think it'll look better and maybe give it a little more strength. I don't know. It's 3/4 inch, so it's pretty strong to begin with. I took my Starrett angle finder here, and I found the 30-degree line here for a hole, the 30-degree line here for a hole, and this one's going to be right there. And those where the through holes are going to be to mount the articulating arms. So one arm will be here, like so, and move inward, and one arm will be here, like so, and move inward. So that's where I'm at right now. I got to go ahead and start cutting this out. Just a little montage to show you the getting it out. I got it out. And I did choose to do the angle pieces here. Now let's do a quick demo. Let's put just some temporary screws in here and put this like that. So this gives you the full picture. Isn't that cool? Now what's going to happen is behind this hole here, where the locking handle is going to be for the arm, this will have a insert, a threaded insert that goes in the hole. Save space back here. And the rest of it is just going to be, for the pivot point, there'll be a 1/4-inch bolt and a nylon lock nut. So I can get it just snug, but not too snug, and it won't come undone as you move the arm up and down. So now I have to make the base, and that's really simple. That's going to be about 6.5 inches deep into the lathe, and I need enough width to put the mag switches on. And there's, what I mentioned earlier in the previous video was those are 95s. It's 95-pound mag switches, which is overkill for something that has almost no load on it. So I bought 60-pound mag switches for this, which should be fine. The mounting hole is the same. If it's a problem, I can always get 95s and put them in place. But the 60s, I think, are going to be fine. So let's make the base. Got to cut some more wood and do a dado. The block is ready to be fastened to the bed for the very first time. I've marked where it needs to sit on the bed. I'm going to square it up, put some CA glue on the bottom here, an activator on the block that's going to go in there underneath. You'll see how this is going to work in a moment. And then hold it in place, and it'll be followed up with some screws. So let's get a little bit of CA glue, put it on there. Okay, that's cool. And now I'm going to take it and set it up so it's just where I need it to be. Square it up. I know I really don't need to square it, but you know how it is. Turn and turn. There, that's locked down in place. And it's just a little bit of activator on the block. And go underneath here, mount that in place. Okay, now that'll be followed up with some screws. But after I put the screws in, we'll go ahead and we'll glue up the circle, assemble this thing, and put it in place. I'm going to sand off the pencil marks before I glue it up. And there you go. Well, we're not done yet, but base is in place. The key is in place. Everything's glued and screwed, and the glue is dried. I may have misjudged. I might have to put 95s on here after all, but it doesn't matter because the mounting is the same. So let's put the rest of the parts on this and chuck it up in the lathe. Or you're not chucking it up, but just let's put it in the lathe. Shall we begin? So this is, oh, I want it on the other side. So this is going to be here, like that. And that is the through hole, which I'm going to put the nylock nuts on, 1/4-20 nylock nuts. I'll tighten all this up a little later. And then the knobby thing for adjustment goes right there. Okay, there's one. And there it is. My 3-wheel articulating iris-like, it's a steady rest, guys. It's just a steady rest. So let's take it over to the lathe. So I've got that little piece of mahogany back in here just for demo purposes, but this is the way that I do it. Take the steady rest, put it in place, lock it down, and I've discovered I'm going to have to put the 95-pound magnets in here. This is good, but it could be better. So you bring in the live center and center up the piece of wood. Just a little dip. Oops, too much. There we go. Center up the piece of wood. All right, I'm going to give it a little tightening back here. So we know that's concentric. So then bring in the steady rest parts. Like this. And then move the live center out of the way. Now you can work on a short piece like this, which actually the two-wheeler is better. But if you're going to do long pieces, they're going to be narrow, thin. This will keep it from whipping and wobbling around. Turn it on. It wakes. It wakes. Anyhow, so this is the end of the second. What did I say earlier in the video? Second part of the one-part video. Again, a little inside joke. So this is ready to go. I am going to change it to 95 magnets, which will be better for what I have, what's going on here. It'll hold much better. But until next moment, before I do that, the next shop project is going to be the chop saw. I'm replacing that with a different chop saw and doing some other things to it. But that's going to be next. I'm either going to do that in the next video, or we're going to talk about where we've come and where we're going with the shop and with my projects. I know I'd kind of glanced on that earlier in an earlier video, but I want to go into more detail because I've put out 52 videos last year, one a week. And sometimes that can be trying, but I try. See what I did there? So until next time, make great things out of wood and make yourself a cool steady rest.